Okay, we're back. This is November 29th, 2023, with a continuation of the application to the town for the 65 Main Street, which is the old fire station. So, call to order, we'll do a roll call vote.
Susan Gerken.
Claire Gulby, Geraldine Bazikas, Mary Jane Churchville.
Ain't no copy here. All right. Now, the audience, which we have very few of, really has no part in this, except it is a public meeting, so you're certainly welcome to stay and attend, but you can't talk. How's that? Questions? Okay. All right. So the next part of it is a continuation. I'll read what it's all about first again. Commissioner's discussion and determination on application for certificate of appropriateness for existing building on 65 Main Street, Townsend, Mass. 01469. Okay. So the meeting was adjourned, so I open the meeting back up again, and what we're gonna do is this part of the meeting for the commissioners to look at the prints we have and any questions they have, and we have the answer man, Jock Snaith, with us tonight, and he's gonna explain questions that may come and go. So before we continue, is there any questions from the commission?
I do, yeah.
Go ahead,
Are there any changes to this from the last meeting?
To my knowledge, no. I would
No,
say.
no changes.
Okay, so.
Okay, wait, I have a question. I want to know why, we continued this because we wanted an attorney to do a title search and give us an opinion letter. Do we have that?
Undefined. I can ask. What do you think?
I know that Eric sent you the deed
Yeah,
that
he
we
did.
have,
He
and
did, yeah.
it's, I do not believe that that is in your purview right now. You're voting on appropriateness.
Thank you.
That is what you're voting on.
And what about issuing the certificate?
That's
You
only
can-
for the outside of the building, that's all this is about. I
Yeah.
don't care who owns it, it doesn't matter.
Oh, you don't care who owns it? Okay, no, I just, for the record,
We
you
should
don't
have
care
done-
who owns it.
We probably should have gone this route initially.
So you're saying that we don't care who owns it, we only care if the changes are appropriate?
Right.
Okay,
Now
so,
we-
all
well,
right, I
changes
get it.
Anything.
All right, no, I
has to
get
do
what you're
with the
saying.
outside.
So how are we issuing the certificate if we're gonna vote for it?
I'm gonna call for a vote, and we're gonna say yea or nay on the application.
I understand the vote, but what about issuing the certificate? Who's it go to?
It goes to the town who will send it to Eric Stagel. Did I get that right? Is it Stagel?
Slagle.
Slagle.
And it'll
Okay.
go to him, and because he is in fact the town. He's the one that's got a signature on the,
Yeah.
Well, I don't
application.
think he's in fact the town at all, but that's for another matter.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay,
We're gonna continue now by looking at, Jock is gonna come up and talk a little bit about what's gonna be done to the best of his knowledge, and that's really all we can do right now, and to say that these plans are available at the building department, and that word's been out for a while. It's not like we're drifting something under the table or anything like that.
okay, so what happens if the lady who thinks she owns it sues us? What
This is,
happens?
that would be the, I'm sorry.
No,
if
go
I
ahead.
can-
We have an answer.
That's the town I can show you the deed that that we have, and that's the town issue, that's not your issue. Your issue is a certificate of appropriateness for the building.
Okay, then can the town hold us harmless if
No.
for any?
You guys will, it has nothing to do with you.
No,
It
No,
has
that's what I'm
absolutely-
saying. Can we have a statement to hold us harmless if it has nothing to
You,
do with us?
this is not, again, your vote is for the appropriateness of the building. That's all you're
It doesn't
voting.
matter with ownership. I could send a crew out to your house.
No, I get it. I totally get it, Anil,
Yeah.
but we have to issue a commi, so you're saying that we're gonna issue a certificate to the town of Townsend,
Right. For the
regardless
outside.
if it comes out that they own the building or not.
That would be something that
They own
is,
the building.
They own
The
it.
building they own.
Well, let me just tell you something
Who's the
about
they?
the real estate. Once real estate is attached to the land permanently, it becomes real estate. It can't be separated.
Mr. Chair, your vote is for the appropriateness of the building.
Of
That's
the
all you're
signing.
voting on today. that is not under your purview
It's
as
not
far as
our
the
building. We're
ownership.
not voting for a specific, we're voting for a specific building. Ownership
it.
matters not. We can do anybody's house.
Okay.
You know, Jack, how's your house, Tom? We can do it next.
Don't you go near my house.
So
Thank you.
what we can do, we can vote without prejudice and ask the applicant to either withdraw the application or to vote no without prejudice, which means they can come back with this.
Yeah, I understand
Yeah,
what without
yeah.
prejudice means.
I would rather, at this point, my opinion, is just go through with what we should have done in the first place, which has nothing to do with anything except the outside of that particular building. I don't care who owns it, doesn't matter. This particular document doesn't say a lot of things on it. I mean, it says that's allowed or that's not, or that's it. But I don't care if you own it or I own it or Chaz owns it.
I care,
I agree with you.
I care.
I think that the certificate should be issued to the correct person, so
If we vote,
if you make the
It is,
motion.
I have a deed that says that it's owned to the town. And again,
The building is.
No, it's the real estate, it's only the
It-
legal
it's-
description.
We've had it looked at,
Mhm.
and it is the town's building, it is the town, where it sits on is the town's land. So,
Can I
you're,
just ask a
again.
question?
Sure,
So that deed that you have is from 1935.
that's what's recorded.
So this is the deed from 1935.
That's what was recorded,
No, wait,
that, I'm not gonna argue with ownership.
I don't want, I just want to say.
I'm
I get
here
it.
to say
No, I get
that
it.
your vote is for the appropriateness of the building. It has nothing to do with ownership.
No, but we have to, so
You
who
don't-
issues?
you
the-
don't.
Oh, we don't have to issue a certificate?
No, I'm saying you don't, it hasn't, your vote has nothing to do with ownership. The ownership, if there's contested ownership, that will be vetted out down the road. It has nothing to do with the Historic District Commission vote today.
This is only,
Okay, so what you're saying is, if anything happens with the lawsuit that we were threatened with the last time we had the meeting, you're saying.
It's the town
The
that,
town,
it's
the
the
town
town, not
issue.
your board.
Not the board issue. So
That
we're
is
gonna enter
correct.
that into the minutes,
You
correct?
may enter it in there.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to get across is that I understand where your issues are. I may or may not agree with you. The point is, the vote today is for the appropriateness of the building, that's it. As far as the ownership is concerned, we have the proof that we own it and we're gonna move forward. There are many steps before this even gets worked on.
I get
so-
that.
So we wanna be able to move forward.
but I like your idea about making sure it's in the minutes. My conversation.
so if we were to vote no without prejudice, it doesn't stop what's happening.
Correct.
And it can go forward because it's very muddy. It's very muddy.
I don't get what you're saying. You're
I
saying
don't
we
either.
vote no.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yes.
know, I get the prejudice part, so
Yeah.
forget that part, because that's gonna mix
It
everybody up.
It means
doesn't
the
understand it.
if the
So if you say no
That means you're done.
with prejudice, then
without prejudice,
without prejudice,
Mm.
that means they can come back.
yes.
They
If we
can't.
vote no, it's no. So
I
the
don't
word, the
think-
wording's really important.
Yes, I
But-
agree with that.
Well, first of all, what's the motion?
Well,
don't
not
have
that
one
we're
yet,
discussing
do
right
we?
now.
We're just
Oh,
discussing.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
we never made a motion.
No.
well, we shouldn't, no, because we're just discussing.
No, no,
Yeah,
it's just still just an open meeting
Yeah.
from before.
Yeah.
No new meeting, no new minutes required.
Yes, we have to have minutes.
No, but there's none required, there's a pullover from the other part of it.
Oh,
There really nothing happened, the first part. We just stopped,
So-
we just bagged it.
So, the Board of Selectmen's position is.
No, that is not the Board of Selectmen's position. I am saying, as your liaison and talking to town council has said you can vote on the appropriateness of the building because your board has nothing to do with the ownership of it. You issue the certificate of appropriateness to the town. It then will go through the other processes that it needs to go to. And if someone then contests it, it's between the town and that individual and not any board.
Okay, let me just ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What if the person contests, files a lawsuit and names us all individually, then what happens?
The town will take it up. It's,
Yeah.
And the town will pay for us to be.
that's correct. That's the way it works. It's the town.
Okay.
This is the
I just wanna
town's-
be dead sure of this.
And I said that last time, and I called town council that in your last meeting, and he said, it's the town. The town is the one that is on the ownership, and your vote is only for the appropriateness of the building. The rest of it, if there's any problems, it's the town taking care of it. It's not your board, it's not planning, it's not zoning, it's not building. It's the town that will take care of it.
Okay, so the town of Townsend. So can I say that you will hold us harmless, or it's not, how would you wanna say it?
I think
You can put that you have been advised by your select board liaison.
Okay.
all boards are covered by the town.
Yes.
Including finance and planning and,
So the individuals are also?
yeah,
Yeah,
yes. Because if we're on a board, we're covered by the insurance.
Yes.
We don't, they can't touch anything of ours, of our own.
Technically, the way it
I just don't
is,
want my
is
name
that
on the last
No.
name.
you are municipal employees. So
I
you
get it.
fall under the municipal employee insurance. Every board, any member that's a board appointed or elected are considered a municipal employee that is covered by the insurance.
the only time I remember, it was the Board of Health, and Don Cowan was on it, and one other person that still might be alive, and it was messy for them. It was very messy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mhm.
Lawsuits are messy.
Yeah.
And they're
This-
expensive.
Yeah, this way to do this, if we vote to hold it without prejudice, we can come back and review it again once, if there is a situation with the land, and it seems to be there might be.
But that's beyond our
So-
purview.
Well, like, and yes, so what you're saying in your scenario, and this is just a scenario, this is not fact, I'm just saying scenario. In the event that you approve this, or disapprove it, however you wanna do it, without prejudice, that would mean that if there was contested ownership, the certificate that was issued to whatever party would, yes, be null and void, and then the new person would need to come forward to get a vote with your
Yeah.
board, absolutely.
Yeah, we would vote no without prejudice. Meaning they can come back again. If we just vote straight no, it's no.
Correct. Or,
They can come back later on. Yeah.
correct, yes.
But it's without prejudice, and it doesn't muddy the water so much.
Correct, and it allows you them to bring it back
Continue.
without any problems whatsoever.
Exactly, yeah.
Correct.
When you say no without prejudice, that
You
means
check
you're
on
turning
that,
down
you check on that with
the
prejudice
outside
and
of the
without
building?
prejudice.
We're
Well,
not turning,
Just in your email.
in a sense, it puts it on hold. It puts it on hold. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it.
I
When
think
you,
that's
when
it.
you, when you, when
You
it's with
dismiss-
prejudice, it means that you can be bringing it again. For instance, in a court of law, when you bring something
No, I know,
forward.
with prejudice, but she's saying without prejudice.
I'm talking
Oh.
with Jerry. When somebody does something with prejudice in a court of law, you can't be tried for the same thing twice. When you say with prejudice, it allows them to bring it back again for a second time if there's some question in regards to any issue that's involved with it.
I thought it was the word without
No,
prejudice.
Without
It's
prejudice.
Without prejudice, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's with.
I think
It's
it's
without, without.
It's without.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why I'm saying I don't think you need to put that in your motion.
No,
Your motion
no.
is for,
We can put it into the,
right,
The
but
minutes.
in the grand scheme of things, let's say either you voted for it or not voted for it and there was ownership contested for it, if it turns out the other person is the owner and not the one that provided the application for you, that certificate of appropriateness that you had voted on is null and void, and then that new party or that new person would have to refile again under their own. You see what I'm saying? So whether or not you file with or without prejudice, it doesn't really matter. You're just voting on the appropriateness of the building right now. All right? Once it works through, if the ownership is contested and it's changed, then the new owner can bring the same thing back in front of you. It's a different application, it's not the same one, it's a different owner.
And it had-
But it would be the same application, wouldn't it?
No, they would have to fill out a new
Brand new.
application.
This is what I'm not
Yeah.
understanding. I mean, either we got the person or we don't have the person, Chaz. We can't be saying, vote on it, and then it'll be null and void. I mean, why are we bothering? If it turns out, because I also did a search, and there's another deed from 1979 that I can't plot because I don't have a plot.
And again, I'm gonna say for the 5th time, your vote is only for the appropriateness of the building. It's not about the ownership. Your board has nothing to do with the ownership. An application is in front of you, plans are in front of you, you are voting on the appropriateness of the building, that's your purview.
Then
That's
why
right.
do we even ask who the owner is when we have the application? Why don't we leave that off and make it easy?
Because somebody's gotta sign it.
Well, I can't vote yes.
We don't have a motion yet.
My feeling is very strong about that, because this is very muddy. Until it's clear, somehow, my feeling is that this board needs to put it on hold with the correct wording, without prejudice. No,
Why-
without prejudice.
Why are we insisting on that? I mean,
Just because of the last meeting.
this should have gone through the last meeting, shouldn't have even made it this far. I don't think. We didn't have this particular issue at the last
Well,
meeting.
no, we did. That's why we
Did I hear
tabled
those,
it.
did I hear those words?
No. No. But,
Okay.
I mean, the issue was who's the owner, because we were put on notice of lawsuit. I mean, that's a serious, I think, you know, I just heard last
frivolous.
meeting about how prior Board of Selectmen, the town has been trying to dig their way out of lawsuits that the prior regime.
And again, that's not your purview here.
we're-
You're talking about something that has nothing to do with the Historic District Commission.
That's true.
No,
you're-
but we're
you're-
talking about having been put on notice of a lawsuit.
Well,
The
but we-
town was, you were not.
Wow.
We don't know.
Yeah, I think it was pretty clear that the town was.
Hmm.
And I think,
All right.
in thinking about this, it is just the outside of the building we're looking at. It's not, we're just saying, yes, we like the outside of the building, and no, we don't like the outside of the building. But I think that's just where it stops, I really do. And if anything comes back, it's gonna be on the town, not on us.
So then, so let's just say, for the sake of the discussion, that it is determined that, whatever that lady's name is, that she does have an ownership interest in the property,
Mhm.
let's just say that. And so that means that our certificate that we would issue today would be null and void, and then she would come back
She'd
to
have to
this,
come back.
to this board for the same meeting over and over again. So
Not this
instead of
meeting.
doing it
This
right,
meeting's gone at that point.
She would have to apply as though.
She'd have to
it-
apply
Be
just
a
like a
brand
Yeah,
new,
brand
be a
brand new
brand new
application.
application altogether.
Yep.
I mean, I just don't like doing
And
things
she's
without
not-
all the information, that's all.
she's
I mean,
not gonna
I just think
own the
it's sloppy
firehouse.
work, and I think it's,
Yeah, but she doesn't own the firehouse. Town owns the firehouse. She's not contesting that, she's contesting the land. We're only talking about the building. That's it.
And how long have we been on that piece of land?
Since 1935, 36. The building existed prior to that, over the canal on the river.
Is moved.
So,
This seems like a very small matter with a large bubble around it. And we can very easily vote no without prejudice until we're totally clear on the land. So that if there is a lawsuit, that we are not part of it in any way, since we are a committee that approved it.
We didn't approve anything except the building.
It's on land that we don't know who owns, for sure.
Well,
And we don't know who's gonna go to court.
Again, you won't go to court. It is the town that would take responsibility for that. But the town paid money for it.
Mhm.
So your vote is for the appropriateness of the building. That's all your vote is. It does not hold anything other than to allow the further steps to go forward. That's all your vote is to do.
That's really not true. That's really not,
ahead.
I don't say that that's not true. That's not facts, that's not what our vote is about. Our vote is about the properties in the district being appropriate for the historic
District.
integrity of the district. That's what it's almost like we're being belittled here and we're being told just do this because
We're not-
town administrator said that
We have
that's
nothing
it.
to do with the land.
You know what,
The
all I
land, the land is
asked
in
for,
the district,
all I,
So what?
we know it's in the district,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yeah, but we don't vote on the land. The land never should.
I'm not understanding why, when we left the last meeting,
Mhm.
we thought that we were gonna have legal counsel to give us a definitive answer. And we also asked that Mrs., whatever her name was, McCaffrey, speak with our town council.
We have talked to them. The town administrator and the person that was building went over to her house, explained everything, talked about this whole thing. They also brought all of the information for this. She did get an attorney. The attorney did talk to our town administrator. They talked to our town council as well. They've discussed this well before this meeting today. It's all been discussed.
And the outcome was?
The town owns they own it, and the town can move forward.
So she's not good, so she's dropped the threat of a lawsuit.
I don't know. And
She could
again,
do that.
that's
She
not
could
your
do that
purview.
anytime,
No, I
couldn't
get
she?
that, Chaz, I understand that completely.
If it's not in writing,
Well, just go ahead.
if it's not in writing, it's just talking, I can say, he said, she said.
Yeah,
Well, that's what,
That's where we are.
that's where we are.
I mean, we didn't even get the courtesy of that information prior to this meeting. That we asked for them,
That's true.
you know,
That was the town administrator.
I mean, you have nothing in writing except your word. What if you get hit by a car and you leave here, God forbid, I hope you don't. But,
We have
oh, okay,
we have it memorialized on YouTube.
good. All right, I
How
just,
lucky we are.
yeah, I don't know, I just think that
So how
to
much-
not be
If
addressed
we
is
vote,
pretty
if we
demeaning.
vote, it's set in stone. If we vote, it's set.
I get
This
it.
can be tabled, it can be voting no without prejudice. Then it can come back up just as it is.
What's gonna happen if we table it again? Then what do they have to produce to make that go away, in your
Well,
mind?
tabling is,
It just gets on the back burner, it just hangs around.
but to be very clear, you can vote no without prejudice and it can come back up.
Right, but if you vote no, that means that you don't feel that it's appropriate.
That's right, well, that's not true.
No, because there can be contingent things that are in this, the scope of everything.
I got an idea.
Mm.
If you vote, you can vote with conditions.
Well, this is the
I made a
condition.
motion last time with conditions and it just got
Well,
ignored,
let's-
so I
let's
mean, what's the
consider- Let's
point?
consider that, because we don't want, this can drag out forever.
Well, all right, then let's see the plans, are there any changes to the building?
I have a question.
No, according to
Do
Joe.
we know from that deed if the extensions are still on that property?
If you're, Mr.
Yes.
Chair, if you're
No, that's
asking
the
if there
chair.
is I know that's the chair. If you're asking whether there is a site plan, is that what you're asking? There is not a site plan that we have seen yet. We are waiting for the applicant to produce one. We are told it's in works. However, to date, they have not given us the site plan that says this is the border of the property, this is where the building sits, this is what we propose.
So the application's incomplete, is that what we're saying?
Yes.
What I'm
Well,
saying
yeah,
is there
because
is
there's
not a
demolition and
site
there's
plan.
extensions on these.
What
I
I'm
mean, we
saying
don't
is
wanna
there's
deal
not a
with it.
site plan.
It would, and just to ask about without the site plan, we don't know if they're planning to put a septic system in, but if it's gonna be a museum, it would need a toilet, a sink. All of
That's all
that.
part of the building
is-
process.
Yes.
What
That's
you
planning.
need to,
Right.
that is part of the building process. Once we get to the point where you've said, this looks okay on the outside,
Mhm.
I would then have it reviewed by Board of Health to make sure the septic system is okay. We need the site plan for conservation, for the parking, if there is to be any,
Stormwater management.
stormwater management, yeah, for a number of things. But what you have there is what they want to do to the building. And that's what you need to look at, what they want to do to the exterior.
And that's all we're voting on, is what would they wanna do to the exterior.
Mhm.
Yes.
Is it appropriate? And that's it.
Well, this
Because
is-
all the other things you're raising is gonna be taken care of with planning, with Board of Health, with all of that. They may do a site plan review, they may do a whole bunch of stuff that would basically solidify the town to be able to do the work that they wanna do, right? So,
Well, let's look at the plans and.
Well, I just wanna know why we don't have anything in writing that we asked for. Why were you sent here?
because it's not your purview, your vote is only for the
Oh, so what we,
appropriateness.
so when we want more
appropriateness.
information, we are not allowed to get it unless
That's
it's.
not what I said. I said it's not your purview. You're only voting on the building itself, the appropriateness of the plans that are here. That's all you're voting on.
The exterior plans, not
Yes.
inside.
Right.
I don't like the part about the lady threatening to sue the town. I don't like the part about if she does file and does come up with some kind of interest where she has to participate in getting the certificate, that we have to come back here again.
To do it. We're gonna, either way, you look at that.
So why do we have to come back here again if it doesn't matter who owns the property? I don't get that.
That's why we don't have to come back. We can just say,
No,
That-
Chaz is telling us that if it is determined at some later date that she has an interest, then our certificate would be null and void.
if
And
she
we-
wins,
if it's determined by the court that she has an interest in the property, then we have to come back and do this. I'm
We
saying,
don't-
why would we do it, why can't we be sure before, rather than walk into a situation where we don't have facts, we've been denied the facts in writing? I don't get that.
You haven't been denied. Again, I'm gonna say this again. You're only voting on the appropriateness of those plans right there. That's all you're voting on. You have nothing to do with, you have no purview or say on who owns the building or whatever. Is it appropriate in a historic district? That's what you're voting on. As
So I-
far as
all
it-
right, okay, I see that as part A and I get that, but we do have to issue a certificate to someone.
to the applicant, and the applicant in this case is the town.
Right.
That's who
So
you're
they're
gonna issue it to.
responsible.
So whether it's right or, it's like a circle that doesn't end.
Can you
All right.
remove your briefcase, please, so we can open these plans?
Aren't they right there?
Right here.
Did anything change on the building?
No, do you wanna see them again?
No.
Anybody else? No? Okay.
Why do we pay the architect so much?
I was gonna
I
say,
don't know.
why don't we just take a look at them?
he's
You wanna
not,
see
I
them?
wanna see
Take a
them.
look.
he's,
I wanna see them.
Okay, this,
I hate to say somebody that they wasn't interested enough to look at them.
this is the ceiling and roof.
You get around and you wouldn't be looking at them.
Take a look, do you have D2 there?
Hmm?
D2, A2,
This is
and
A1,
A1 would be good.
A1.
Okay.
So I want A2.
A1 is what is going to be, what is being proposed for the future.
John, can you come forward over here just to make
Sure.
sure? Sure.
These are
I
extensions.
think that's
I
what.
thought you said there were
Do
no
we
changes.
do we have D2 here? We should.
Are there changes or not?
No, they're the same thing.
Oh, so that extension is,
Yeah.
is not a change.
John?
Here's the street, here's the street.
Oh, here.
This is the main street.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks coming off of the front of the building.
John, what is this right here?
Well, this is
Let's take a look.
another one.
Let's take a look at this.
All right, okay.
So, let me turn around, I haven't seen the
Yeah,
plan.
yeah.
So this is
I was
an
gonna say, I'd like
existing,
to see the property.
This is existing, what is there today.
What is it, right here?
This is what's sitting there as of today. All the dotted lines are demolition,
Oh,
all right? Not necessarily demolition, but something is happening
gonna
to that
happen.
portion.
Okay.
So something is happening to this, something is happening here, something is happening here, and something is happening there. No, nothing is happening there.
This is the rear that you never see.
Right,
Where's the front?
front is here. Okay, so you've got the little door,
Turn it this way then.
two windows, and the garage door in the front.
But we don't care about the back.
we don't.
So this is,
No,
this
but
is,
that,
this
but
is what
they
it's gonna
they
look like.
care about it.
Yeah, they gotta know what they're
So what
building.
are all the
This is
little
what we wanna
dots
see
that
now.
are
And this is
changed
what,
here?
this
What are
was
all
the proposed.
So what are these little dots representing?
That's just showing what is being, something is happening to the building, they're taking,
Where
they're
they
tearing
put
something
new
off.
windows in and,
As you see,
new
let's pull this
doors.
one over, see that.
yeah.
So, if you take a look, for instance, at this particular drawing,
yeah,
and you see the dotted line, what
Yeah.
they're changing is the door is moving from here to this position, to the side.
on the center.
Okay.
Oh, so
And
there is a
windows are
change,
changing.
okay. So
Well,
there's
there's some
significant
changes.
Yeah.
So, that's changing,
But don't-
and the front of the door is becoming glass, so you can see the equipment inside.
Is that, do we have a cupola on it now? No?
Yeah, this
do?
is
Yeah.
up, this is where they hung the hoses for drying.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Will it be larger, is it larger than what it is now?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Significantly?
well,
Oh, right
that's for
here.
you to determine.
Oh, right here.
Let me just
Yeah.
get myself
Look
oriented
at,
here.
between here and here. It's the same
All right, so
image.
this is the back. I wanna deal with this one. So we have this. What's happening here is this is being enlarged 3 feet towards the street. This one. Which is the one right here.
Towards what street? Main Street or
Main Street.
Baldwin?
Main Street. Let me just get this one, it's sometimes easier to see this. So,
Is that the side?
Yeah.
That's the side, okay.
here's the front, here's the front. So this piece, sorry, this piece here, the width is being extended 3 feet towards Main Street. This side does not change. The back is being extended. Currently, let me get you straightened out on this one.
So wait a minute, so wait, go back to this one, the Main Street one, 'cause we don't
Main
care about
Street,
the
the center door
It's being moved.
center
is being
door.
moved to the center of the
Yeah, see,
display area.
So the center door, is this on the side that goes like this?
No, this is
No, it's
facing,
the
you're
front.
on Main Street looking at this building.
so can you bring this one away so you can see where it is? See where the two windows in the doorway, now it's a door, it's a window, a door, a window.
Right. It's centering that door
Centering it, I like the undo.
with something.
Which
with some
really is
protection.
necessary because all the rain comes down here onto the door.
Yes, it brought it, it's
Okay,
quite
so
beautiful
that's,
the way
all
it
right, so
is.
that's one change, what
That's one
else?
change. Additionally, this front elevation of the building is moving towards the street 3 feet,
Okay,
okay?
Mm-hmm.
The other change is at the back of the building.
I don't care about that.
Oh, well, you should see it anyway, because that's what we do. All right, so the back of the building currently has a little toilet in there and something else, which is this section here. This is now going to be extended from, here's the existing end of that little thing at the back. It's gonna go all the way over to this section.
So it's a bigger bathroom, is that right?
It's going that way, and it's also going all the way over to here.
Oh.
Not to the end wall, but it's tucked in. The reason for that is getting some bathrooms in, as well as having enough length in here, in this section, for the
Oh,
equipment
okay.
to go in.
So you moved it over.
This
Are
is
the
coming
plans
out, you know?
handicap accessible?
This is handicap accessible, yes, and the bathroom is handicap accessible. Although, I don't think we're gonna open it up to the public. If somebody's hired to be in there.
So you're also saying that there's gonna be an entire glass front?
No,
that-
it's like this, so right now you have a panel door in the front,
Correct.
and instead of a panel door like that, which is, well, this was the panel door, it's now gonna look, that's how it looks. Instead of solid panels, it's glass. You understand?
Oh, I understand.
This is solid
completely.
panels, and this
Yeah,
is open now,
I
so that you
understand.
can see the equipment.
I understand. Okay, so it's gonna be glass on the
Right.
historic building, front.
Is the
Right.
purpose of that so that you wouldn't go into that part?
For the glass,
Hmm.
it's really for display. give a little eye candy from the street, because you're gonna see all this antique
Oh,
equipment.
so-
But
in there.
isn't it also security? I mean, so people, somebody could break in there and going by, you might
There's
see
probably some
somebody.
advantage to that, but I'm not sure that was the main reason. I think the main reason was to
Display.
display the equipment.
Well,
That's gonna be a workable door though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they gotta get the stuff in and out.
Good point.
And those are the changes that have happened.
All right.
is the door on Elm Street, is all glass, isn't it? The one that's up on,
No, I think that's
No.
solid.
it's solid?
Well, it's
No,
not, it's
there's-
paneled.
There's
Right,
glass
there's one
across.
glass, there's a
Yeah.
little bit of glass in it.
Yeah, there's a row
I
of
think it's
glass.
a row of glass.
So we're supposed to vote on the appropriateness of a glass front door, right?
That, and, you know, this is getting moved. The other thing is this has a slate roof on it. It's remaining. This one will be standing seam.
You what?
Standing seam roof, metal roof.
A metal roof.
And have the site plans been drawn up yet?
I'm not aware of the site plans. It's,
They've not been drawn or even proposed
I
or
haven't had
thought
any
about?
conversations, so I can't really say, you know, what's what. I know that they're gonna have to do it if they're not done, because it's all part of the permitting process that they have to have site plan.
The permitting process is quite extensive compared to, I mean, this is not.
Compared to this, it's a nightmare, but, that's no one's problem, but, yeah, project manager.
So our job is to approve this,
Whether or not you feel that this is appropriate for historic
that
district.
location. Not whether it's gonna get stopped somewhere else by,
No,
because of the site plans or septic or parking or anything.
now, I might be wrong on this, but I believe you really have
That's
no
something,
impact on permitting.
no, we don't.
You
No.
have impact in terms of, is
Right.
this appropriate?
Right,
You do have impact on permitting.
Yeah.
Your board can,
Right. If it stops here, it stops.
but we're not talking about parking.
No.
We're not,
No.
yeah,
Parking,
no,
What's the
where'd you
outside?
get parking?
but it does impact what happens when this
Exactly.
goes to other
Exactly.
boards.
Does it have to be a glass door?
That's what I wanna know.
Does it have
Why,
to be
what's
glass?
with
We
the
would
glass
really
door?
like the glass door. This is a museum. We'd
Oh,
like to have that
museum type.
equipment.
But,
Yes.
okay,
Okay.
so it's eye candy,
Museum.
Well, maybe it's an
Is it
inappropriate
appropriate?
thing. I think it'll be very appropriate. This is gonna, look at what you got.
we're in the historic district.
I know, look at what
It's
you
not-
have.
But,
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be what it is right now.
You know,
I
if
mean,
you
that's
say no
kind of-
glass door, I think that would be a mistake.
so what is going in here? Antique?
Yeah,
It's
antique
their
cars.
hand pumper, and there's a tub machine, and there's
There's
a
about
number of
5
other
to
things,
5 to
and
6
So that would-
machines.
the Historic
That
Society's
that
first is
actually would
going
be
in there.
pretty.
I don't think it's appropriate one single bit.
Finally, going
It's
someplace.
adaptive reuse.
I get that, Claire.
There is no measurement here, or are those, is that 16?
There is measurement.
Is that 16 feet?
No. Going out here,
Yeah,
6'9". And it's at 5 foot now,
right, it's 5 foot now.
and it's going to 6'9".
We had to vote on that. Remember? The extension in the back?
Yeah,
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
it was a historic building.
but you can see it from two streets. So you have to go-
Well, you can't, really.
Well, you can see it from Spalding Street.
Can you see from Swan?
Yeah.
Yes, I guess you
If
can.
you crawl through the
Oh, you-
bushes.
Oh, you can see it from Spalding?
Yeah.
We can see the back, the extension.
would you say this is
of the-
doubling the size of what's there now?
No.
No,
nowhere
1.5?
near it.
Even 1.5?
You've got 3 feet by
3 feet.
18,
Oh.
and then you've got 1.5 feet by 20 feet or so. Yeah, it's probably 20 feet in the back.
So
In
what,
length,
what were
20
the
feet
alternatives to this glass?
It would have to be a solid door, but I think that would really be taking away the purpose. I mean, it's not like you're putting in a glass door for a car dealership. You're putting in a glass door because you have artifacts that you're trying to show. It also brings light into the building.
Made it make more attractive to the area too.
I think so, but I'm prejudiced.
I don't know, it doesn't seem to be keeping within the square.
How large is each panel of glass?
I'm not sure.
Are they gonna be like mutton bars and partitioned off?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna look like Townsend Ford.
No.
No, so it's gonna be- it's gonna be
It's
partitioned
gonna look
off.
like
No,
a
it-
glass
it
door
is.
Yeah, a
with
door,
handles
yeah.
of glass.
It
Yeah.
is divided lights.
Yeah, so it's got
If we keep it too
one,
tight to
two,
the
three,
historic
five panels
district rules,
down.
won't happen. We have to look at repurposing.
I understand
Yeah.
repurposing, we've
Yeah.
already gone
I know.
through this,
I
we
know.
got the lesson, the whole 9 yards.
You know, if it wasn't gonna be used as a museum, I probably would like to see the panel doors, but where it's gonna be used as a museum, where you're gonna have the hand tub in there and the pumper and all that,
Mhm.
I think it's a draw.
But why? Because you wouldn't know what was in there.
It-
Otherwise-
Well, I mean, you don't usually
There's your
know
door.
it's in a museum when you
What's
go
that?
in. I mean, really, John, that's not a good enough merit, because, I mean, what museum have you been to? The Reed House is a museum, we don't have a glass
I know,
front
but
of-
we're not,
You don't have that
we're
type
not
of
showing,
display.
displaying furniture either, and our furniture isn't,
Well, we should be.
well, yeah, I know.
I think that estate down on is it the North Shore that has all the cars in it. I believe they have, they can look through and see the vehicles in there.
Mr. Chair, may I ask a question?
Of course,
Will there be signage on this building, Jock?
There will be.
Yeah, that's another
Is
issue,
it
isn't it?
represented in?
Yeah, it's a Spalding
drawing?
Fire Museum across
Okay.
the doors.
Is that
The
it?
door.
Okay, so if it says that, that kind of tells you what's in the building, does it not?
Yeah, it does. But if you
Okay.
happen to see some antique materials in there, aren't you gonna be interested in going?
That is a very good point.
Well,
Who's gonna wash all those windows?
you, Claire. It's gonna
The
be-
No.
directors of the Townsend has, no,
I don't
this is
think
fire
so.
department.
Well, I would
The
say,
volunteers of the fire
Fire
department.
department, yes.
well, based on the way the town takes care of buildings, I would say probably
it
no.
wasn't the town or the DCR that let us down. This,
Yeah.
in my mind, 90% of this is maintenance that wasn't done for the last 8 or 9 years.
Well, that's to
I
8 or
know.
9 years.
What about the bandstand, what about the Hart Library? What
All right,
about the
let's
band?
stick to the fire station.
Why,
I mean,
why are you
that-
trying to make us depressed?
The bandstand's a completely different animal. That's insanity.
Well, maintenance, I think, is a big deal, I mean,
Oh, sure, but they didn't kick, they wouldn't, I tried to get them to kick DCR out of there several years ago. Was that Craig, when was that? We said
I'm not going there.
we have a MOI
It's a
from
dead
them
issue.
that said we're gonna do blah, 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 blah.
So
I called some higher
our
ups.
job is just the building,
Yeah,
nothing to do about the site plans, nothing to do about parking.
No, somebody else's job.
That this is all we do.
I don't think that's true, I think we do have to do with parking, don't we?
No,
No.
no, just the building.
It could get
It's
shut
a
down
planning
because of
board.
that, but that's not where, we're not saying, oh, where you're gonna park.
you could park across the street if they had to. Well,
There's really no parking for anything, but.
Exactly.
This is gonna be walking, I mean, the way that
They're gonna be
we
parking
have
down the
talked about
church,
it,
they're gonna buy
is
their
this will be
ticket, walk
a
up.
partnership with the
There you go.
Historical Society in terms of the people visiting it. So they'll probably be coming through the campus, and this will be considered part
So
of the campus.
with all that surveying, was that for the sidewalks that are
That's
gonna
the
be?
sidewalk.
So that's what that was for, yeah.
well,
And it's just on that part, it's just on the Reed House side for sidewalks.
Yeah, it goes from the church to the Reed Homestead. I think it goes to the corner.
Mhm.
That would make sense for it to come. But there's no way across that bridge safely, there's no walkway.
We're gonna be putting in a walkway this side of the bridge, because we're gonna have to get traffic, pedestrian traffic, to the grist mill, and we can't have them crossing inside of that corner. It's very dangerous, so they're gonna be directed out to the street and then across at that point.
So
Okay,
there's gonna be a sidewalk going from the corner of South and Main to the grist mill?
I don't think that that's in the plans right now.
That's dangerous.
Well, we're gonna there's enough room that people
To
can
do
walk
it,
on it. We have
yeah.
to have it cleared for them to walk on it.
Hmm.
And that
There
one,
isn't.
No, there isn't.
Where
119 is
No, there
state,
isn't,
but
Claire, because we deal with the
South
kids.
Street is town.
That's not true.
What's that?
That's not true. There's
What's
not
not
enough room. We deal with that with the kids when we have the, third graders come.
They cross right out of the parking lot across to the grist mill, don't they?
Right, because they can't come on the sidewalk and cross that Main Street.
Well, there's no way to do it now, but we're creating a way to do it.
Oh.
But that's on the other side of the street.
So our job is just the building.
Just the building.
And we will not be implicated, we wouldn't be implicated in any way if there is a lawsuit. We're just talking about the building
Susan,
on that
let me tell you
land.
something. If there's a lawsuit, we'll all be implicated, regardless of what anybody says. Our
I'm
name will
just
be on
looking over
it.
there.
Our names will be on it. Now,
Then-
Yeah.
getting off it is another story.
Yeah.
Town is, the liaison is telling us that we don't have to worry about it, but as a person works in the legal field, I'm worried about it. It's a red flag for me.
If we go back to the proposal that I made, and that is to vote no without prejudice, this is still on the table. This doesn't go away. It can come back once we know what's going on with the land and who owns it and how that's going to move along.
I think if you do a no without prejudice, it has to be refiled again because you've just tossed it.
But if we've already said no to these plans, then we have to come back and review everything again.
Well, who
Either
said
way,
we're
you
gonna
would
say
have,
no?
anytime you
Yeah,
say no,
it's just a,
Who
You're saying
says
you're
we're
back.
saying
assuming a
no?
lot.
You know,
I mean, one's saying that we're saying no, we're not approving this thing, but you can come back again.
But you
The other,
can
you can
come
say
back.
no, and then
Come back
you
in.
can't come back for
But you can always
years,
come back
something
if we
like that.
say no, right?
Only
Usually
if
a
it's
period of
different
time, I think, isn't there?
applicant.
Timing.
I think there's a period of time.
Yeah, we're running out on our 60 days right now. If we don't make,
No, we've got time.
If we say no,
we got another week or so.
oh,
but, well, wait a minute, if no, oh my
Right.
God.
Because this was filed October 12th.
I understand that. But if we say no, we already said no to May Wong. We said no to the lady with the pet store, and they all came back with different plans. So if we say no, why can't they come back with a different plan?
Well, it would be the same plan.
but why
This
are
is a
we
different
assuming that
issue.
we're saying no? Why can't we assume that we can say yes?
I don't even know what I'm voting.
You know, I recognize that I'm very prejudiced for the project, but I think in terms of the historic district too, this is a huge plus for it and not a negative. Look at it now.
I don't disagree with that. And if we didn't have prior knowledge about, with the question and a possibility of what might happen with the land still being made, we don't know if that idea's all been dropped. We don't know.
Nobody, my point exactly, which is why we tabled the last one, hoping that we'd get some concrete evidence of what we asked for, and we're not.
If
Well-
there is, if I may,
Go ahead.
if there is a dispute in regards to the ownership, it's gonna be taken up in planning, it's gonna be taken up, you have a civil engineer that's gonna have to look at this, that is gonna be taken care of down the road. What the vote is today is the appropriateness of the building, that's all you're voting on today.
I understand that,
But
Jim.
you can't be pulled into court for anything.
But here's the thing, we tabled our last meeting based on information that we asked to receive.
And
No,
you're
and regardless-
and again, I'm telling you, who owns the building is not part of what your purpose is
Then
here.
we-
What
then the
you're doing asking for this is taking the role of another board that needs to vote on it. That would be the planning board or whatever. Your purview is whether or not those plans are appropriate for the historic district. That's all that this vote is for. As far as the ownership is concerned, that's another board's jurisdiction, not here. As far as whether or not they take to court, it's the town. It's not your vote that you do today that's gonna,
So what changed from the time we made that motion, voted on it, and you were on the phone and was in agreement, and today?
I wasn't in agreement. You made the vote before I came back in from talking to town council. I wasn't in agreement with that at all. I was saying, you just need to vote on it, and I went out to talk to town council. When I came back, you guys had already voted on it. So, you already voted to table it.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we,
We need to consolidate the question that we're going to propose to the,
What does that mean?
You need to make a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the plans as presented to us.
with, we can make some reference to the
And
notes.
by seconding that, that means we can have further discussion on the that motion.
That's true.
Yes.
So Claire, tell me that again.
A motion to accept the plans
Mhm.
for the Harbor Fire Station Museum,
Spalding.
or the Spalding Fire Station Museum.
I'll second that.
Okay, are we ready to vote?
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All of this is a motion, and now there's discussion.
Aye.
I don't get it, I'm accusing myself. I don't understand it. You made a motion.
And we voted
Yeah,
on the motion.
okay, aye.
Aye.
but
All right,
you-
now we can discuss.
Now, is there any discussion
Let's
on it?
beat this horse some
Oh, I
more.
see what you're saying.
So is if there's no discussion, we can just move on.
Okay, you got, okay.
Yeah.
So to move on to what?
We're
To
gonna
voting
move on
to
to
vote,
vote,
on to
whether
the
our
vote.
board
Got it.
recognizes the fact that we're only dealing with the outside of the building.
Say
Not
that
the
again?
land, not
So
the
that we're
ownership.
voting
On the,
on
on
the
the-
fact that our board
Right,
only,
deals with the outside, the exterior of the building. Not the land, nothing else. The septic is not our problem, that's
that's
up
what
to,
we're voting on?
We're
Just
voting on the
outside,
plans,
just what
Just
you
the
see
outside.
here.
these plans.
All right,
That's
so we're
it.
voting on the outside. I have to write this down.
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
So we're voting, so the motion was to accept the plans.
Mhm, mhm.
The outside plans,
The outside
Exterior
plans.
plans.
exterior plans.
For the Spalding Fire Museum.
I got that, okay. So, second by you, all right. And so we voted to accept the motion.
Mm-hmm. The
Now,
motion carried.
the motion carried. Now we're gonna vote on it.
Okay. I don't know what else we could put in there that would,
I think it's quite clear.
Yeah, it's real clear.
It does, that what, we probably should specify, because I think it's, is it 65 Main Street?
It is 65 Main
Yeah,
Street.
it is.
I'd add that in.
Got it.
okay, so let's just be clear that if we vote yes, we're voting on this, what we've
Mhm.
done. It's
We're voting
just
on the exterior of the
exterior of
building,
the building,
period.
At that location,
at that location.
knowing what we know.
Yep.
Okay, did
That's-
someone, is,
Somebody has to make a motion.
What did we vote? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You did.
Entertain a motion.
That is the motion.
The motion was for the motion.
Yeah.
Now we're making a motion to come up with the vote. So, a yes vote, we'll say we accept this.
roll call vote.
And we'll, yeah, we can do a roll call vote. We can do a yes, we accept, and no, we don't. Simple as that.
I vote yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Claire Culper, yes.
Gerald Mazik is yes.
Mary Jane Churchville recused.
You know, copy, yes. The vote is 4-1. The motion carries.
Bravo.
Let's get rid of it.
Jack, and I can go over, have a suggestion.
Is there a tube for this?
No,
Have to roll it.
roll out.
Does it go in there too?
No, we still have to close the meeting up. Mr. Chair, I make a motion to dissolve this league.
Okay, the motion's been made. Do I hear a second?
Second?
Second's been made by Susan to dissolve the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no, the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Chair.